Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello. Oh my God. I'm so excited right now. So, can I call you Kiana?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay. Hello, Kiana. My name is Ilma Amalia, and you can call me Leah.
Leah. Okay, I'll call you Leah.
First of all, thank you so much for helping me make this video.
No, that's okay.
And I'm sorry if my English is not good.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, and as you know that I'm an army like you, I love BTS.
Yep.
My bias is wow, so gorgeous, so awesome. I've watched all of your video dance and wow, you are so awesome. Like,
Thank you.
what is your bias?
My bias is Sugar.
Sugar. Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, but my bias sugar.
There's a lot of him here.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Okay. 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 I want to ask some question to you. But
Yeah.
yeah, but before that, once again, I'm sorry if my English is bad.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay. First of all, tell me about yourself and where are you from?
So, my name is Kiana. I am 26 and I am from London, which is in the UK, not to be confused with London, which is in Canada. A lot of people do
Okay.
that. I'm like,
I
no,
see.
London in the UK. I've been dancing for 20 years, so a really long time.
28.
And as you can see from my background, I am very into K-pop. Sorry, my camera moves when I move, so
Okay, I see.
yeah.
The next
Been on.
question. What do you do usually in your leisure time?
So in my leisure time, I spend most of my time dancing, specifically
Yeah, I
K-pop
know.
dancing, because
I see.
if
Your
you've seen
dancing
from my
is
Instagram,
so awesome.
thank you. I do that maybe 3 or 4 times a week. It just really depends on classes, and then a lot of the other time so I've just kind of started to like make my own K-pop merch line. So I've been
Yeah,
working on that a lot. It's taken some time, but it'll get there. So keep an eye out for it.
I see. Okay, the next is there a difference in how the old generation and young generation enjoy their leisure time?
Definitely, there is a very, very big difference. So even between my generation and the younger ones as well. So my mum, as she's the generation that's above me, and even my sister, they
I
didn't
see.
really spend a lot of their time outside, like running around like I did. So I spent a lot of time outside playing and stuff like that. And then the generation now, they're all on their
Yeah.
phones.
Okay, okay.
So there's a very big like difference now, especially with technology and stuff like that. So
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay. If I go to the UK, what are the things I should and shouldn't do while I'm there?
Well, that all depends if you're coming as a tourist or if you're coming to be a resident. So as a tourist, I would say do everything you possibly can. Go and see all the sites, obviously, because you're only going to be here for a while, and just to kind of enjoy being in London because it's a very, very different space
Oh, I
compared
see.
to a lot of other places. So, but so obviously going to all the museums and stuff like that, they're always free. They're always free, and that's kind of one of the things I would say to kind of see British culture, but none of it's really British, so it really depends. And then if you're coming as like a resident, again, do all the touristy things, but just kind of get into the multicultural background of living in London because there's so many people here, and I've met a lot of people in the last year, and just to kind of experience their cultures, even me being in London for my entire life, a lot of my friends are not from London, so it's great to just kind of go out, meet people, and get other people's perspective on London. Is what you definitely should do.
Okay, get it. Thank you.
It's okay.
And the next question. I've watched YouTube videos where people say that in the UK, they are sensitive about cameras and you can just take photos of anything. Is that true?
It kind of depends on where you are. So, I mean, again, there's a very big difference between the UK and America when it comes to cameras. In the UK, you can pretty much take a picture of anything,
Yeah.
so long as you're not taking a picture of like children or other people like really without their consent. If they end up in the background of your photo, it's fine. A lot of people aren't very agitated about it. They don't really mind. You can pretty much take a picture of anything you want. But obviously there's places that you'll go, like some of the museums where you can't take photos. That's like a very big thing because they want people to come and see it and not see it online. But videos, taking pictures, genuinely, no one really cares.
Oh, I
In
see, I
my
see.
experience anyway. Yeah, in my
Okay.
experience.
Okay. And is there any unique culture or traditions in the UK that you like the most?
So we have a few unique traditions. So every year, it's so weird. It's the most random piece of knowledge. We have a cheese chasing competition. It's not in London. It's and what else? Oh, there are.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
So sorry.
No,
I
it's okay. Don't worry.
the signal is unstable.
That's okay.
I wait.
Yes, we have the cheese rolling competition where people you.
Oh, ini masih di record kan?
We don't have very big traditions because most people's traditions are kind of like Christmas
Oh, I
and like
see.
we don't really do
Oh,
Thanksgiving, but we do Thanksgiving. Some people do Thanksgiving, like obviously New Year's, that's another one. So every New Year, when we go to the Big Ben and the London Eye, they do the fireworks. Another thing is everybody sings Old Lang Syne. It's a Scottish song. Everybody in the UK sings it regardless. Americans have picked up on it as well, but that's been something. That's a very
I
big like everybody in the UK, doesn't matter where you're from, everybody links hands like this.
see.
So with the pinkies, and we all sing that song at midnight. It's great. It's probably one of the
Okay.
nicest traditions. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Next, what habits from the UK society should be preserved, especially for the younger generation?
Oh, hmm. I don't really think there are any habits that we really need to keep. Maybe apart from queuing. That's a thing.
Mm,
The Brits like to queue. It sounds so stereotypical, but it's very normal for. There could be just a sea of people, and there'd be a line where people are queuing. I don't know. It's like we just flock together in lines. So I think that'd be nice to keep. It's a very good habit that I think the UK have picked up. But other than that, nothing really. We don't have that many habits. Yeah, that's about it actually.
okay, okay. This is the question for you. Are
Yeah.
you interested in English literature or classic English literature?
So I used to be like a very big reader. Now not so much, just because I don't really feel like there are books or anything that kind of I gravitate towards anymore. But when I was younger, I used to love to read, especially like um, not like traditional literature, but just like English literature in general and stuff like that. Especially because being at school, you are not forced to read, but they are very heavy on you reading, especially for when we take our English lessons, we do a lot of Shakespeare and like a lot. I would no, I'm not really modern writers anymore because they're all from like 30 years ago. Um, but yeah, it's not really. I'm not very into it like I used to be because it was kind of
Hmm.
forced on me.
Okay.
But if I see a book that I like, I'll pick it up and read it.
Okay. Then, are you interested in novel or poet, something like that?
Yeah, I do. I do like if I come across something or someone sends me something, I'm like interested in it, but it doesn't. It's not the first thing I'm gonna go to. I'm like, oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna read a book. But if I see something and I gravitate towards it, like I'll buy it. So there is a comedian. His name's Trevor Noah. He's from South Africa, and he has a book. And
Oh.
I bought the book because of him, and I've read it, and I'm like, okay, it's a good book. Would I buy a book just because I want to? No, I wanted to read it because it was about his life. So it just has to pique my interest.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so, who is your favorite novelist or poet?
My favorite novelist at the moment would have to be Mallory Blackman. She wrote Noughts and Crosses. So that's a
Oh, I
very
see, I see.
traditional book to read in a British school. So everybody reads that book in school. It's the same as, so we also have a book, there's a book called Of Mice and Men. Everybody reads that as well. And Animal Farm, everybody in secondary school, no matter what school you go to, you will read one of those three books because they're the last two are like very classic English literature. Everybody knows them in the UK. Doesn't matter who you ask, they could be 10 to 85. Everybody knows the book. So those are Mallory Blackman is like probably my go-to reader if I was to read a book because I know her very well.
Okay, I see, I see. And then, do you know what are the most popular arts in the UK? Maybe a poem, a song, or a novel?
Most popular. Ooh. Hmm. Poets not. I know probably the most popular writer would be Oscar Wilde. So he wrote Animal Farm, I think it was. I can't remember. He's probably one. He's the name that always when I think of British like literature and anything like that and novelists and stuff. He's the first person that comes to mind. Song wise, not really, but Oscar Wilde would be the main person that I would think of.
Okay, I see. And what do you know about national culture in British?
We're very pompous is the word I like to use. We're very the British culture, like the British national culture, is very white collar, silver spoon, white glove kind of. So very upper class, kind of like not all to like the Queen and stuff like that, but we're very like heavy on like monarchy and stuff like that. I don't know why it doesn't appeal to me, but just how we are. It's just how we are. So they're very even though we have a very big militia over here, which is you've got the army and the navy and stuff like that. That's like a very big thing over here. So if you ever come to the UK or if you've been to Buckingham Palace, you always see the guards. We're very big on that. They're everywhere in like centre of London, especially around the palace. And when we have well, it's the king now, so when we have the king's birthday or anything, we will always see the royal guard around him all the time. So that's one of the like biggest British culture things that we have is the royal family. I don't like them.
Okay, about the culture again. What do you know about individual culture in British?
Um, it really does depend because everybody obviously it's such a very multicultural country. Everybody has their own kind of individual culture, so it really depends on who you talk to. So for me, obviously, my family's from Jamaica, but I was born here, so my culture is very Jamaican British. So for me and someone else, it's going to be two different things. But what's nice is that everybody kind of shares their culture with each other. So your individual culture isn't very individual anymore because I know about someone else's and they know about mine. And we've kind of intertwined everything all together. Obviously, Britain being one of the most multicultural cities in the world, it's individual but very one. If you know what I mean. Yeah.
Okay, get it. Okay, the last question, Kiana. Do you
Yep.
know the difference between parliament and monarchy?
Yes. So, well, my understanding is the monarchy is the face. Well, for the UK, is the face of the country. Essentially, they don't make any rules. There's a few things that I know the king gets to have an opinion on, but he doesn't make any like final decisions. And then obviously, Parliament is kind of the political side of everything. So obviously, you've got Labour, Conservatives, Green Party. I think there's about 4 or 5. I don't know all of them. And obviously, those are the kind of groups. Obviously, they have an election every 4 years or whatever it is. Politics is not for me. And I know that kind of there's a certain amount of people and they all make decisions together and we vote on who we want to make those decisions. And like that's one of the big differences. So like Parliament makes decisions, the monarchy doesn't, they're just there for show. And yeah.
Okay, wow, that's awesome. About culture in the UK and about
Yeah.
your leisure time, your hobby. Wow,
Yeah.
that's all awesome. Thank you, Kiana, for helping me
No, you are
to
very,
do
very welcome, Leah.
to doing in final exam, my final exam.
You're
So,
welcome.
can we take picture?
Of course.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, cheers. Wow, so beautiful. Once again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Anytime. If you need
Okay.
anything else, just let me know. I'm pretty much free a lot of the time. So,
Okay.
and I hope your
Great, thank
final
you
exam goes well. You're gonna do
Okay,
amazing.
thank you very much. Okay.
No
Have a
worries. You're
nice
welcome.
day.
And you as well. Bye, Leah. Bye.
Bye.